Hi guys, Richard from the Poke Family here again. Now today's video is hopefully everything you need to know about the upcoming PvP or Go Battle, if you prefer, system. Now a little caveat before we move on, a little protection for myself. Nobody really knows exactly how this is going to work. This information is derived from watching videos, information that Niantic have released through tweets or other methods, like previews, trailers. The IGN video is a big one. So take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. Forgive me if some of it is a little bit erroneous. Saying that, it should be pretty accurate. It seems like it should be. So it seems on the surface to be fairly simple. However, there are some intricacies to it that I feel like I kind of need to go through to help you guys to understand the minutiae of it a little bit. So I'm going to go through it step by step. How to start a PvP battle, what's included in it, all the juicy bits, basically. So starting at step 1, you can start PvP in two separate ways. But if you want to practice PvP before you interact with any other human player, it is possible. There's a training system being introduced with PvP where you battle in a simulation of sorts with your team's leader. So myself, being Team Valor, I would battle Candela, Team Mystic trainers would battle Blanche, and Team Instinct trainers would battle Spark. And that allows everyone to get into the groove, to get into the flow, to kind of understand the base mechanics, where to tap, what to press, what the UI looks like, the interface, etc. And it allows you to do that. It also increases your Ace Trainer badge. If you've been playing Pokemon Go from the beginning, Ace Trainer is one of those badges, it's one of those medals where it was there, and previously you got it by engaging with the previous gym system that came before the one we've got now. Basically, in order to put Pokemon in a gym, you had to train it, and you did that by just battling Pokemon. It was a long and laborious part of the game that I was so glad when it went. I didn't really enjoy it at all. That's how you used to get it. Post that became kind of obsolete, but they never removed Ace Trainer from the game. Even new accounts kept Ace Trainer. Now, training with your team leader in a PvP-esque battle gives you points towards your Ace Trainer badge. Now, I'm not sure whether the medal, the badge, is going to amount to anything. I don't think there's going to be any bonuses. Some badges and medals give you bonuses. This, I don't think will, quite simply because I've already got a gold Ace Trainer medal, but it has nothing to do with PvP. It was just simply from the old gym system. It doesn't indicate any level of expertise. It's not like I've trained with my team leader and learned everything about the system back to back, front to back, however you want to say it. So Ace Trainer's back. You can PvP kind of in a solo fashion. The same mechanics and allows you to learn it. How to engage in a PvP battle. There are two methods, like I said before. The first method is to click your nearby button. Now, if you are wondering what your nearby button is, look at the bottom right hand corner of your Pokemon Go's UI, the one where you click and you see the nearby Pokemon, and there's two buttons, one for Pokemon, one for raids. I'm suspecting there'll be a third one for PvP. It's going to be in there. So if you're near someone that you're going to PvP with, if you're stood at your local area where your community meets and people are PvPing and you want to join in, and you ask someone, hey dude, want a PvP? That's how you would do it. You hit that button, It comes up with a QR code, you scan it, straight into a PvP battle, you're off to the races. That is method 1. You can PvP anyone that's near you who is willing, scans the QR code with that method. Anybody. It doesn't matter what level of friendship you've got, nothing at all, you can just do it. The second method involves a kind of remote play, which is a first for Pokemon Go, and I've got a little bit of mixed feelings regarding that. Pokemon Go has always been about go, get out, go, hunt the Pokemon, find the raids, you know, meet people, hatch eggs by walking, move, get some exercise, see the world, engage with other players on the move, find a community, engage with people, you name it. This allows you to remote go battle your friends that are at ultra level or higher, so ultra and best friends. Now, it takes the go part away. However, it is limited to those that you've played with a lot, those that you've shared a lot of gifts with, so it allows you guys to practice. It allows everyone to practice against their favourite players, against the people that they interact with the most. Now that's a positive thing. I suppose one of the negatives of locking behind an ultra friend gate means that organising like worldwide leagues or World Cups or championships or regional championships or whatever is impossible. Doesn't mean that that isn't going to change though. When they released the new gym system and the raids, there have been changes to that system since. When you first started with the raids, rare candy was super common. You could get loads and loads and loads. I had so many that I piled hundreds of rare candies into Articuno and Zapdos. I had hundreds of candies just from doing a few basic raids. We didn't raid quite heavily, I had hundreds. They reduced that, and you know, they kind of gave you a reason to keep hitting the raids. Of course that means more premium raid pass sales for Niantic, but you know, it keeps the company in business. Basically it keeps them making Pokemon Go, which is what we all want. So that's a change there. When they introduced friends, the gift system was different. If you remember, I think you could pick up as many gifts as you wanted. There was like, you could just have a bag full, and they changed that. Lucky Pokemon didn't exist. You know, these things evolve, and Niantic have said that this is going to evolve. And one of the potential evolutions that I can see for this is the removal of that block in some way, shape or form, even if it's for Niantic to themselves organise leagues, groups, battles, championships, cups, you name it. There is a potential for this thing to gain a bit of a competitive edge. You know, it's Pokemon Go and it's a Pokemon game. It should be friendly. So, after you've decided which way you're going to battle, be that a solo battle against your team leader, a local battle against a player that's near you, or a remote battle against one of your ultra or best friends, once you've done that, the next step is to select the league in which you're going to battle. Now, as I said in my previous video, there are 3 leagues. The first league is the Great League. The Great League has a max CP of 1500, so any of the Pokemon that you choose can only be as high as 1500. If they go above that, they are not eligible for this league. Now personally, I see this league as a bit of a training league. It's a league for those players who don't have a lot of experience with Pokemon, who are still learning the ropes, still learning which types counter which types, which moves are the best on certain Pokemon, etc, etc. It's not only for that though, guys. I mean, this is a league where you can push out Pokemon that you would rarely use otherwise, just for fun, just because you have them. I myself have definitely saved Pokemon that are not meta relevant because I think they're cool, they've got good IVs, I like how they look, I've got fond memories of them. This is a league in which you can use those Pokemon. I mean, guys, who doesn't want to see Ego, my first ever Pokemon, in a battle? It will do terribly, no doubt, but I want to use it, It's my first Pokemon. I caught that first. You know, it was a Bulbasaur. Now it's a Venusaur. CP 36 or something. It's not going to do well. But this is the league in which I can use it. And that's brilliant. The second league is the Ultra League. It maxes out at CP 2500. Now this is, in my opinion, the tester league. And what that means is, if you are powering up a Pokemon to use in a raid battle, but you're not sure about it, and there are damage breaks when you go up, points where the damage increase, the amount of damage that your Pokemon becomes significantly less. Now, if you want to eke every little bit of damage potential out of a Pokemon for a raid, you would take it right to the top, max it out. You know what I mean? Some people do it for fun. I do it for fun. I like having maxed out Pokemon. I just think it's fun. But there are damage breaks. This is the league in which you can test. You can get to a damage break, test your Pokemon in PvP. You can say, yes, I like that. I like how it works. I like what it does. I like the damage that it does. I'm going to push this through and complete its training, get it to the max CP that's capable of. Get the most out of that Pokemon. Of course, that's not the only use for it. It could just be a league that you play in. You know, a cool league that's not going to have 100% maxed out legendary Pokemon being thrown around, etc. That kind of stuff is reserved for the final league, which is the Master League, with no CP limit. The sky's the limit, anything goes. Legendary Pokemon, maxed out Pokemon, 100% IV Pokemon, the stuff that you've really worked hard on in this game, the stuff that you've really put candies into, that you've spent rare candies on, that you've used charge TMs to get the best moves, all that stuff. This is the league for that, for the guys who know what counters what, and this is where the real competitive part of the game is going to exist, the real competitive part of PvP. Personally, I don't know how I'm going to do in there. I don't even know whether I'll enjoy it. I'm not a super highly competitive person. I do like a bit of competition though sometimes. When a fight's tough, when you're up against a trainer that knows what he's doing and you win or you lose, it's a learning experience and you learn more about Pokemon, and that's something that I love doing. The Master League, you're going to learn a lot in there, so long as your opponent's a pretty cool dude. But, it's Pokemon. Of course they're a cool dude. Most people in Pokemon are very, very willing to share information and very, very willing to help other trainers learn and become, a better Pokemon trainers. So after that, you're looking at picking your Pokemon. You can pick 3 Pokemon to use in a battle. 3. It's not 6 like the main series games, it's 3. Now, I suppose this is where I should really talk about the fact that with this update, they are making available a second charge move for each Pokemon. Now, this charge move is purchasable. You go to your Pokemon tab, you click the Pokemon, and it should be there. So the little ball in the middle, pick Pokemon, just like you're going to look at a Pokemon or look at an egg or look at a raid team. Go in there, click a Pokemon, and the option to purchase another charge move will exist. It will be in there, in that Pokemon, and once you've bought it, as far as I can tell, it's a permanent thing. Usable in PvP, in Go battles, usable in raids, usable in gym battles. It is usable throughout the game once you've purchased it. Yeah? And the reason why I'm talking about that here, because it affects the 3 Pokemon that you're going to pick for your raid team. Now, I'm assuming that raid teams are going to have a similar spot to the raid battle teams that you have, where you can pre-select and have them ready to go. I expect that that's going to be there, but it affects the tactics of the team that you're going to choose. For example, if you've chosen a Rayquaza, for example, one of the stronger dragon types in the game, most people run Rayquaza before this expansion with Dragon Tail and Outrage as their moves. Many people forget that Rayquaza is not only, in my opinion, the strongest dragon type in the game, it's also the strongest flying type in the game. Now, you get an extra charge move, not an extra quick move. Yeah, but we all know that Dragon Tail's pretty good at generating energy. So if you've got a dragon charge move and a flying charge move, it adds versatility to that Pokemon, helps you make an easier choice when choosing your 3 Pokemon. If you've got versatility on a Pokemon, you're gonna choose that Pokemon over something that's less versatile, and it's gonna affect what you do, which Pokemon you choose to buy the extra moves for, etc. Because countering is going to become a big, huge topic. There's going to be separate metas, in my opinion, a meta for the raiding and a meta for PvP, and that's why I'm talking about it now, because it affects which Pokemon you choose. Now they've made 2 Pokemon unavailable for Go Battle, Ditto, and I have to assume that it's the processing power. It's copying exactly what your opponent's gonna do, because it's a PvP situation. Will just take up too much processing power. I'm not sure the program's just set up for that. I just don't think it is, and it's not going to do anybody any good, crashing servers or whatever. I can't think of any other reason why they would have not, but you can't use Ditto. The second one is Shedinja. Now the reason why they put Shedinja in there is because in the main series game, Shedinja is usable because of its ability. In Pokemon Go, there are no abilities. Yet, we may see them in the future, but right now there are no abilities, which just means that Shedinja is literally the definition of a dex filler. It's a term used in the game for just stuff that you get just to get the entry into your Pokédex. It has no other use, and right now Shedinja kind of is that, but obviously potentially in the future that could change. So that's why that one's been crossed out. It literally has so little value that it's pointless using it, so they're just not allowing its use. After you've chosen your 3, you're on to the next step, which is the actual battle. Now this is where the tactics have changed. It's the same tap and charge system, where you tap and for a quick move, and you charge up a charge move. Now what they've done to alter the tactics to make it so it's not just simply tap 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 tap, oh your Pokemon's stronger than mine, or you've got a better phone or whatever. You've got 2 protect shields to use per battle. Now a protect shield will defend your Pokemon from a charge attack. You've got 3 seconds after your opponent has tried to deliver a charge attack to choose whether you want to use a protect shield and mitigate the entirety of the damage from that charge move. 3 seconds, and you've got 2 for the whole battle. Remember, you've got 3 Pokemon, so it's 2 for the entirety of all 3 Pokemon, as far as I can tell. But what it means is you have to learn which charge moves which Pokemon have available, and learn which ones you want to block. The real big hitters, the ones that are going to wreck your Pokemon and leave you with very little health and cause you to lose Pokemon and knock out. Something else that needs to be said: you are allowed to switch Pokemon during the battle, but once you've switched, you are on a cooldown for the switch for 50 seconds. So you can switch, if you've chosen something that your opponent is countering immediately, you can switch out and move to a separate Pokemon, but obviously your opponent can react to that, and you both go on a 50-second cooldown. So fast moves, charge moves, you've got 2 charge moves if you choose the right Pokemon. You win the battle by knocking your opponent's Pokemon out. Once you've knocked all 3 of their Pokemon out, you win the battle. And this is kind of a separate step to the battle phase. It's connected, but it's separate. Once you've beaten your opponent or been beaten by your opponent, 2 things will happen. You will be offered a rematch, so you can quickly just go straight back in and have another fight if you want. You just start over, go again, for fun or whatever. And the second part is you will be given rewards. Now, as far as I can tell, I can't tell who will be given the most rewards, whether winning will mean you get more rewards and losing will mean that you get less rewards. I don't know, but what I do know is that you can get Sinnoh stones from doing this. So all those Pokemon that they've released from Sinnoh from Gen 4, this is a way that you can collect Sinnoh stones. I've got no idea whether you can have 10 in a week, 100 in a week, 1 in a week, who knows. But that reward is available through the Go Battle system. Amongst with a whole other bunch of rewards, I'm expecting Stardust, I'm expecting all different kinds of things. They might even introduce some new items, some PvP items, just usable for PvP. We've had no indication of that yet. There's one other piece of information that I need to give you, and I'm not really sure where to put it. I broke this video down into sections, and that section is you won't need to use that information. You won't need to use any revives or any potions or anything. If I run a team of 3 Rayquaza and I lose, my Pokemon are not actually knocked out, I can still use them. So you can stand next to a raid, waiting for a raid to happen, waiting for an egg to hatch, waiting for an EX battle, whatever, with a friend, and just battle. And once it's done, straight into the raid. No reviving, no using items, no anything. You just do it. You just go straight in. That is pretty awesome, guys. The fact that you're not punished for losing. You don't have to stand around clicking 20 revives. You know, that's still just reserved for the gym battles and the raid battles, which, let's be honest, you actually have time to do that. You actually have time to do it. Whereas with PvP, you can just jump onto the next thing. You know, people have got a lot less time to be doing this interaction. I know from playing online games, it's difficult to coordinate with friends all the time. This just expedites that, makes it faster. It's great. That, my friends, is Pokemon Go Battles. That's all of it. That's everything that you need to know. There's a second charge move, 3 Pokemon in a team, 3 leagues, you're going to get some rewards. You don't need to revive. The information is yours. Now's the time to start thinking about teams, guys. Which teams are you going to use? Which Pokemon are you excited about using against your friends? I'd love to see. If anybody wants to add any comments, if anybody wants to tell me what teams they're going to be using, hit me up in the comment section below, because I'm super excited to see what people are going to use. Don't worry about the competitive stuff. Don't worry about revealing your secrets. You know, people will figure out which things are good. There's already things flying around out there about which Pokemon are good. I can't see those answers until we've actually got a system and we're actually clicking those buttons. That's my opinion. So let's have fun, you know? Let's have fun. I know for a fact that the things that I'm most excited about using in PvP are my Rayquaza and my Metagross. And Ego, I have to admit, I want to use my first ever Pokemon in a PvP battle. You know, the first image for a Pokemon game was the Gengar and Nidoran battle, 2 trainers head to head. You know, my Bulbasaur, which is now a Venusaur, I want to use. You know what, I might even be tempted to use some Dust and some Candies and power it up. It's not the best Pokemon, but hey, now I can use it. That's my video, guys. That's all the information that you need to know about Go Battles. Hope it's informative, and I'll see you in the next video, or in a PvP battle. Who knows?